Alright, so good morning. Excuse the bad image quality. As you can see, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. What I'm about to show you actually happens very often, but not like this. So I open the door, I go outside, and I see one hyena, two hyenas, and three hyenas, all watching this little guy. You know what that is? That's a possum. And he's playing dead because he's still breathing. He's playing dead because he's surrounded by these three. So usually when I come out, I see a dead one. He's all the way over there, and I get the pitchfork to pick them up and throw them away. But I'm actually kind of scared that this one is going to jump on me. Alexa. I didn't kill it. I put it in a bush. Okay, so if you remember last week, I posted to my Instagram stories if you had any questions for me in regards to my job as a flight attendant, and a couple of questions came in, not much. But without any further ado, let's get into it. Number one. Oh, I put it on a notepad because I don't have another camera to film myself while I'm reading off my phone. So, number one. Have you ever been mistaken for a woman or gay? Bruh. No, I have not. Not for a woman. Gay, maybe. People want me to be gay, I guess. I've had gay men hit on me. But in short, no. What is the hardest part of being a flight attendant? There are a lot of hard things, but I think the hardest part for me, no, I don't think. I know that for me the hardest part is leaving my family behind. I always have a guilty feeling. What is the weirdest request you ever got from a passenger? The weirdest request I have got. To be honest, there have been a lot of weird requests. But the weirdest one I have gotten, oh yeah, an old guy went to the bathroom, a very old guy who actually needed assistance, but there was nobody to assist him. Sometimes passengers come on board and they always say, I have assistance, but your assistant is nowhere to be found. So this particular guy had to go to the bathroom, and I don't know if you know, but when men are done peeing, they need to shake their sausage to avoid any extra drip, you know. And that old guy asked me to shake for him. I told him, no, I'm sorry. I'm always willing to go the extra mile, but this is beyond the extra mile. Number 3. No, that was number 3. Number 4. How did you become a flight attendant and what school did you go to? I've gotten this question a lot. I think if you want to fly for KLM or any other company, you have to attend flight attendant school. But that's not something we have in Suriname. In Suriname, the minimal requirement is middle school, you know, lyceum, HAVO, stuff like that. And if you have your diploma, you can send your application letter to the company of choice and they'll store it in a file. And when they need flight attendants, they'll go digging in that file, call everybody, have an interview with them. And out of all of the people that send in their application, they're going to select what they need and train them. Number 5, what's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you? A lot of embarrassing things happened to me, but the first one that comes to mind is when I had to go to the Netherlands for the additional training. You know, flight attendant training is classroom training and physical training. You have to go to Schiphol, aircraft visits, stuff like that, slide down the slides, open the doors. And we had completed classroom training and we had to go to the Netherlands. And usually for most people, not all the time, during takeoff and landing, your ears kind of go shut. It's almost like there's water in your ears. And it happened to me the very first time, and my dumbass thought it happened to everybody. So during the descent to Schiphol, my ears went shut. I thought it happened to everybody, so I started screaming in the plane, I can't hear anything. And the guy next to me said, hey, everybody can hear you. I'm like, oops. Number 6. Would you recommend becoming a flight attendant? Yes. Number 7. Do you get lonely when on duty? Yes, of course. I find solitude in my wife and son. No, that's a stupid thing to say. I find closure in my wife and son. I love being around them. When they're not with me, I feel empty. But on the other hand, my colleagues have become like my family too, so we spend a lot of time together. Not all of them. Not all of them. Is it actually not safe to drink coffee on board? Listen, when I read articles online, it says that studies have been done and that the piping that has to send water to the coffee heater, blah, 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 it never gets cleaned. I've been flying for almost 12 years now and I drink coffee the whole flight. Literally the whole flight. Every chance I get, I drink a cup of coffee. 12 years, nothing has happened to me. So maybe I just have strong genes. The best part of being a flight attendant, that's question number 9. You get to see different countries. It's always nice, you know, this weekend you're in the Netherlands, that weekend you're in Miami. But not all flights of my company are a layover. Some of them are perform the flight and you come back home. But yeah, I'd say that. What annoys you the most as a flight attendant? When we need to start the service and then at that moment passengers decide to go to the bathroom. Like, bro, come on. I have to push the cart all the way back to the galley and all the way back. And then when you come back, I have to push the cart all the way to the galley in the front and then come back. Bruh. Number 11. What is the safest place on an airplane during a crash? I don't know. I've never been in a crash and I don't intend to be in one. I never want to be in one. 12. Why should the window blinds be open during takeoff and landing? Most emergencies happen during statistically, most emergencies happen during takeoff and landing, and if the window blinds are open, you can easily check the outside conditions. Ever had a rude passenger? Every flight there's a rude passenger. Every flight. What is the hardest flight you ever had to do? Okay, so my company doesn't have those flights anymore, but I know, I think about up to 4 or 5 years ago, we performed flights to Curacao. We still do, but these were different. Now it's Paramaribo, Port of Spain, Curacao, Port of Spain, Paramaribo. At the earlier stage, the Sundays flights were the hardest because those were Paramaribo, Port of Spain, Curacao, 2 hours layover, not layover, 2 hours ground time. Head back to Port of Spain, drop off passengers, pick up passengers in Port of Spain, bring them back to Curacao, and then from Curacao, it was a straight flight to Paramaribo. Never had pleasure in doing those. And the last question, what is something that being a flight attendant has taught you? to always be prepared for any situations and to always pay attention to what is going on around you. Get it? Yeah, no more questions. All right, so that wraps it up for this video. I hope you have more questions for me. If you do, send them to me and I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. Until the next video.